कितने आदमी थे? दो आदमी।
Why they remember or think कितने आदमी थे?
लेकिन आज मैं तुमको कुछ ऐसी चीजें दिखाऊंगा, कुछ ऐसी बातें बताऊंगा जो आज तक तुमने न देखी होंगी और न सुनी।
I need to narrate an incident.
एक बात जो कहनी थी वो तो कही नहीं। आप बहुत अच्छा लगते हैं।
Big question mark. What next? Try to make films that keep people engrossed.
Please welcome, with a big round of applause, the CEO of Media and Entertainment Skills Council and our moderator for this session, Mr. Mohit Soni. And now, an influential filmmaker, producer and actor, a Padma Shri awardee and a recipient of the Filmfare Lifetime Achievement Award. Please give it up for Mr. Ramesh Sippy. May I now request Srimati Vrinda Manohar Desai, Joint Secretary Films, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India, to please join us on stage to felicitate our guests. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us with the felicitation. And now, over to Mr. Mohit Soni with a gracious request to commence the conversation.
Good afternoon, friends. Good afternoon. So I think before we start this conversation and learn from the wisdom of our Honorable Ramesh ji, I think we should give a big hand of applause for the Padma Shri, the maker of the Indian cinema, Mr. Ramesh sippy. Sir, it's always an honor to learn from your wisdom and be around with you. The positive aura you bring in actually mesmerizes everyone. And I think today it'll be great, place for everyone, including me and everyone present here, to learn from your experience and understand the exact meaning of the word perfection. So, with your permission, sir, can I start firing some questions? Fire away. Thank you. So, we all know Ramesh ji as the man behind creating this Indian cinema which we really love and fall for. But I go back, some years back from now, and remember a movie called Shahenshah. Right? How many of us know Ramesh ji was in Shahenshah?
Anybody?
So Ramesh ji, your debut as an actor in
That's
Shahenshah.
right.
Would like to know about it before we go into the real life of production and direction.
Actually, I spoke only 2 words. Ammi, Ammi, and I ran towards my mother and embraced her. That was my shot as the little prince.
And I don't know how many of you would know about it, but that was at the age of 9 years, sir?
I think probably younger. 51.
51?
51 was Saza, sorry, 53.
53.
You're right.
Yeah, 9 years.
9.
And 7 years you were on the set. when you were 7 years of age.
That's
Amazing. Can we have a round of applause for somebody who has been on the set at the age of 7 years, guys?
Yes, I walked on the sets of Saza, Devanand and Nalini James, I think, Nimmi. And
Yes, absolutely correct. So, sir, from a movie, Andas, to Sita and Geeta,
Ji.
and to something which we all are wow about, Sholay, how has been the journey, and what do you see as your own learning in creation of these three movies together?
That there is no end to learning. You keep learning. Because at least when I was making those films, I know that we had a fine script to work with, to start with. We put in a lot of effort. Everyone, from actors to writers to all the technicians on the sets and workers. But every time I had a feeling that we could do this better than what we have even thought about. I would not hesitate to say, let's do it. Let's do it this way. I know it'll take longer. It'll need something else. Sometimes you needed a propeller fan. I remember now, let's say we take an example because people will remember it as when Mr. Sanjeev Kumar comes home and his family has been slaughtered by Gabbar. All the bodies are covered. We started shooting, and after 2 or 3 days of shooting, we had from sun it went into a very cloudy weather. So how could we shoot? We had already shot for 2.5 days. But so we waited. We waited a day, we waited a second day. At the end of that second day, I thought, suddenly felt that this atmosphere of gloom and darkness seems to be perfect for this scene. Because it foretells doom. Something is coming, a storm is brewing. So suddenly the whole complexion of the scene changed in my mind. And I called the cameraman, Mr. Devecha, and asked him, how would it be if we shot this scene in this kind of gloomy weather? He looked up, looked around and said, yes, it'll look beautiful. Then he looked at me and he said, ये तो ठीक है, लेकिन फिर जब धूप निकल आएगी कल तो क्या करेंगे? नहीं, मैंने कहा देवेचा साहब अब तो ऐसा देखा है तो ऐसा ही करना है. So we started shooting, and right enough after 2 days the sun came out. So we had a hell of a time trying to maintain that continuity. But I personally feel it was worth it all because it took although it took 23 days to shoot that sequence, I remember that it was that atmosphere that added a lot to the emotions of that scene. And finally, when he sits on that horse to go and confront Gabbar, he had everything with him, all his emotions we could feel, but the atmosphere also was there and the wind started picking up. So I think cinema is something that is quite endless. It is the imagination, your imagination that is limited. If you let your imagination go, yes, you have to control the budgets, that's true, but in Sholay, I did not. I did not think of what a budget meant. I just went on because I felt this was important. It gave the film the right kind of atmosphere and we carried on with it. So that sense when one says sense of perfection or the passion for perfection was there always, even from my first film. But by the time I was into the making of Sholay, it had reached that point where I would not give up because of that. The lighting of the lamp, for instance, the scene between Amitabh and Jaya, these two were there's a silent love between them because she's a widow and he's the quiet man with the mouth organ. So this sequence suddenly felt right just at that time when day turns into night. And when I spoke to the cameraman, he said we can only shoot this at that magic hour, which gave us exactly 2 minutes shoot. So we would shoot some other sequence in the morning till lunch. Then after lunch, we would start setting up for this kind of a shot, because every shot, we could not on the set change the position of the lights or camera. So all that was rehearsed and ready, and the moment the magic hour felt that it was there, we took that shot. But that takes a lot from inside you, and my father, who was the producer, never said a single word. What is this son of mine doing there? Taking 23 days to shoot one sequence. He's gone mad or something? Never said one word to me. It was his determination also that had made him this film the way he wants.
Amazing, amazing. So with around 2 years of making Sholay? Around 2 years?
Just under 2 years.
Under 2 years, amazing. So your last film, which I love watching, and I could see it as many times, Shimla Mirch.
Yeah.
How have you seen the change in technology, the change in skill, the change in the organized format of the Indian cinema over the years from that time to this time?
The main thing is the budgeting has changed in the sense that you're spending the same kind of money, but you're doing it in a much shorter period of time. Compared to the 500 days of shooting for Sholay, I finished the film in under 50 days, 45, 47 days of actual filming. Of course, there was no real action, and no horses, and no... but still, even to do the sequences wasn't easy. But we did shoot and complete it in under 50 days. So compared to 500 days, that was nothing. But the difference between then and now is simply that the costs have gone up multiple times. Of course, a rate of inflation every year increases. You have to keep that in account. But the corporates and all that have come in and want to do a very streamlined business, they want everything in advance, the budgets and all. You can't think of the set and decide to take 23 days to shoot a film. That is no longer allowed. That's the reason why you have to plan your shoots, and even these kind of thoughts of whether you do it in the wind or you think it in advance. You sit amongst your technicians and writers and everyone, say what is the best way to go about this? You come to those conclusions and then try to see that the same thing can be done in a much shorter period of time. And of course, today's special effects has acquired a whole new dimension, and therefore you can even create that atmosphere after you shot. And I think every era of movie making is beautiful. It's gone through through its phases. You take the best of the time and do what you can. What was available to me in 1973 to make Sholay, I have a lot more available today from technology's point of view. Today you even have AI, artificial intelligence to help you. But you can ask questions, you can get your answers. You still got to use your mind to break it down, to decide, is this better for me or that? Is this the right way to go about it or that? You prejudge a lot of things, and there's a lot of technology to help you do that. And your people and your crew, of course. So I think at any point in time, you'll always feel, oh, those were the days. Yes, they were the days. But these days are also very lovely, very wonderful for young people growing up today, wanting to make films. You have a lot at your command, at your you can take advantage of a lot of things, including technology, which helps you to arrive at decisions quicker. So I feel absolutely that today we have an education institution also, as you're aware, Ramesh Sippy Academy of Cinema and Entertainment, where we're teaching them how to make films, giving them our side of it, how to, and then it has to be their young minds, their thinking, how they can take that forward and make a film. So, MESC के यहाँ भी है, the skill development, वहाँ भी कोशिश की जाती है कि जो आदमी काम कर रहा है उसको भी एक मौका मिले कि थोड़ा सा टाइम देकर मैं कुछ सीख लूँ और समझ लूँ, and that particular skill he can develop and take it to a little different level. So I think what's happening all around today is happening for the general good of people, and it should be helpful. And if you got to make your choice which way you want to go.
Amazing, amazing. So from Filmfare to Padma Shri to being the chairperson, the mentor for institutions like NFDC, MESC, and so many other eminent bodies, I would like to understand from you, what would be your say to the present industry in terms of supporting and building a skilling ecosystem? And you know, what kind of contribution would you like them to put across in building this training ecosystem much more organized, much more sustainable?
I mean, it is an ever-developing kind of science, and the courses that go to help students learn about cinema must change according to the times. It is inevitable, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going backward or forward. Whatever is available to you, as I said, is available to you, and you make the best of what you have with you. People have made films in the most difficult of times. I think yesterday I saw a film, a lovely film, a silent film, 105 years old. It had been restored and rejuvenated. What I saw, I could not believe that this is a film 105 years old. A silent film. And then the imagination of the people who have organized it, they arranged a live orchestra. So that gave it a kind of atmosphere which added to what was being presented on screen and according to the mood of what was happening on screen. So although the maker did not intend that orchestra to be playing, but by adding that, the value of that film went up. And I think it was a very, very lovely film.
Surely, sir, surely it must be, and I'm sure